we got it. Did you see that BTAR we have up there? That's a sample BTAR from Remote Pilot 101 that we're gonna like work through.
Okay. I think we ought to put it on the fixed chat though, because it's kind of hard.
Yeah, maybe Bill can copy paste that to the fixed chat at the very top or where. Well, it doesn't matter.
I've got it ready to. I'm ready to send it.
But you're gonna. That's fine, but you're gonna have to keep reposting it as we go back over it.
Well, you can just keep it highlighted, Bill.
Oh yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, just keep it highlighted.
Yeah, good idea. Ron's on the ball, man.
Well, I know. I got my top producer here to handle all the difficult stuff.
You tell me when to launch it in there. I have it in my note. I'm ready to send it on the chat. Whenever.
Oh, listen to him. He's already using terms. Send it. He keeps saying, "Send it. Send it. Send it." All right. Let's start it.
Hey,
hello everyone.
Let's just talk about this all night again.
That's not what this goes about.
3 hours of FPV talk.
That's all we need.
We're here to talk about getting people their 107. We've been joined by Mr. Michael Wright tonight, as per Ron's new sidekick for his 107 show. And tonight's going to be a very intensive learning night. So we're going to have everybody here all hands on deck so that we can get into this. and we might talk a little bit about the FPV drone here and there, just out of sheer impulse. You know how it goes.
Yeah, we can't help ourselves.
Without further ado, I will throw it over to the prof to get us started, Mr. Ron Brown.
Thank you very much, Bill. And just to give you a hint, I just got this in the other day. I got my hard copy of my Part 107 certificate here, license. Just arrived the other day. So I know they said that would take a long time. Like they set up the 5-6 months, but it only took maybe less than 2 months to get here. So
that's about right.
So that's about right. That was good. That was good. So yeah, folks, tonight we're going to do our continuing study of doing Jason Schapper's remote pilot 107 training course here to get you up to speed, so you can get your Part 107, become a professional certified pilot, and be able to post your videos to YouTube and Facebook and social media without worrying about getting a letter from our friends down at the Federal Aviation Association. But we've done lesson 1 and lesson 2, but lesson 3 is tonight, and lesson 3 is by far the most intense lesson in his course. I forget how many lessons there are already, like 9, something like that. But this is the one that you really have to dig into. We won't even be able to begin to get close to touching everything about this thing, because we could be here for 3 or 4 hours. But that's why we got extra help today. We got Michael Wright in all the way from Texas here. He's well versed in this. He's going to help me when I fumble and can't answer a question. Hopefully, Mike's got my back tonight. And Chuck too. I got 2 guys getting my back here when I don't know something or I mess up something, because the course I did it in January, so I'm an old guy. So it's all to March now. So 2 months.
March.
A lot has left me.
And I'm here to tell colonoscopy jokes.
Oh, okay.
Boy. Everybody's in the neighborhood.
Yeah, we got some good colonoscopy stuff today for all the older folks.
Oh, dear Lord!
It's been 2.5 years since I've done weather. They don't have weather on your current test.
Spare us the shh.
Just to let you know that.
Good. Well, I mean, Michael brings up a good point. I study really, really hard for the weather section, and I get in there, and I did get weather. I did get a weather question too, but not many.
Ron, did you say you get in there? You sound just like my colonoscopy doctor.
You gotta let that go. Every time you say that, I'm gonna start the drone up.
I gotta let that go. That's what
every time you say the C word.
She said the same thing. You gotta let that go. I swear, you just think about all the time. All right, go ahead, Ron. Go ahead. And as you can see, periodically we're going to be posting this for Ron to be using for you all to quiz with throughout the night. Now, what is this, Ron?
Well, I'm going to do the overview, and then we're going to jump right into this. The first part, well, the first chapter, I don't know what you would call it here, but is METARs. And this is a METAR. This is a sample METAR that Jason Schapper provided. We will go over what all this crazy stuff means here. That'll be our first part, but I'm going to do the overview first. We're going to do METARs, section 2, TAFs, number 3, the HEMS tool, number 4, your weather briefs, number 5, stable versus unstable air, and number 6, surface friction. I don't even remember surface friction. Number 7, cloud formation types. 8 is advanced weather. Number 9, flight services and NOTAMs, and number 10, advanced weather parts. But we're gonna, Mike said, they're de-emphasizing the weather, so we're gonna go real quick on the weather stuff. It could always come back, right, Mike? Good to know.
Right.
In case
It's on the initial test. It's on the initial test.
Guys have a very I remember studying for all this stuff using Remote Pilot 101 a year ago, and you've got some pretty lofty goals this evening. That's a lot of material.
Yeah. Well, again, we're just gonna. This is gonna be the Reader's Digest condensed version of this stuff tonight. But I think METAR, Mike, would you agree? METARs is still important to learn how to read a METAR.
Definitely. It was on my test.
Yeah, and TAFs. Actually, TAFs count too. But
See,
METARs.
Yeah. And Chuck, I'm glad you brought that up. Could you explain what you feel is the difference between METARs and TAFs?
TAFs are shorter.
Sorry, class. I'm late. I know.
Tardy slip.
There's no here, John.
Really, Professor Bill, you're going to do that to me?
Yeah, we're doing it.
But we're getting an echo.
We got
Is it from me?
Yeah, John, you came in.
Let me lower it down a little bit.
Brother.
How about now?
How about now?
Echo.
We still got a little bit going on.
A little bit? I don't know. I didn't change anything. How about now?
Mike's gonna get mad at us. We stole the echo from Mike's show.
We actually do it live. We'll repair it live.
He doesn't have headphones on. That's the problem.
Yeah, he's usually
Normally
got
I do, but
his earpods.
they're missing. That's the problem.
Oh,
They are missing.
You better use my AirPods.
I'm very disappointed.
Bill, not only is he late, but he's unprepared for class.
That's what I was about to say.
he didn't even bring a pencil.
I'll get the headphones sorted.
All right,
Class.
I think we're good already.
yeah, we're good. He's already muted himself. I think he's just plugging
He
in.
fixed him. He's working on it. He's getting all command comms set up.
All right,
Okay.
continue, Ron. I will shut up.
So Chuck was telling us the difference between METARs and TAFs.
No, I wasn't.
He said half
Okay.
are shorter.
I said it's
He said
shorter.
half are shorter.
Well, there's less information in them, basically.
Yeah, basically the TAFs expands upon the METAR and forecasts future weather. And all this weather and stuff can be got at aviationweather.gov, which all this stuff on the test is I guess, before they realized there was internet, all you gotta do is go to various apps to get all this information.
Here's one.
I
Here's
have
one.
I have two questions.
Yes.
One, what is the origin of METAR? And two, what does METAR mean when it's roughly translated?
Well, I'm going to go to translation. It's Aviation Routine Weather Report, and we're probably from small aircraft. He didn't cover that in the testing, but it probably came from airline stuff, a small airport, maybe just air pilots or plane pilots in general, whatever you call somebody who flies a plane, that type of pilot, as opposed to us drone pilots. But okay, let's jump right into the METAR, because that's the biggest thing. We're wasting time here. Now, I can't read it. I don't have the chat up here because I had too many screens going. But anybody in the chat know about METARs or have any idea what's on the screen there? Now, forget the word METAR there. I probably shouldn't even type that in. The METAR really starts with a K. So the first the first part that K J,
Hang on.
yeah, that's the location of the airport. So in this case, it'd be JFK, which is that Washington?
There you go.
You're funny.
So anyhow, that's the location of the airport, the first one. But the second number, the 242235Z, Michael or Chuck, you want to take a stab at that?
24 is the day of the month, and the 2235 is Zulu time. Zulu time.
Got it. Zulu.
Excellent. Good job, Chuck. And Michael, can you explain what Zulu time is for anybody that's never heard that term before?
Meridian, Greenwich, Meridian, the 0 hour, basically. That makes
And
sense.
that's going to be the same time all over the world.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Consistent.
So that's the important thing there. The Zulu's the same time, no matter what zone you're in. We're used to the time changing by your zones. Okay, now the second big number there is 28024G36KT. Anybody want to take a crack at that one? Mike?
Chat or us? Because that's the direction of the wind and then the speed of the wind. And
Wind and now and not.
Gusts. Yeah.
36 knots.
Yeah. So it's like 280 degrees, which is, why can't I remember now? To the west? Then
this one is
northwest, right?
I gotta go around the clock to
Yeah,
find my way there.
Yeah, good. Jason, he interprets it. Winds are 280 at 24 knots and gusting to 36 knots.
Right.
I tell you what, the next question, let's see if we get some kind of, because everybody's just saying hi to everybody. It's like they're catching up. It's like, hey, how you doing?
I'm gonna kick back and let them answer.
We just, because it's like,
load off.
Well, but like Ron said, if we don't bust ass, we're never going to get through all of it. So
Right.
Go for it, Ron.
Well, the next one, Bill's a little easier. We'll throw this out to the chat. What does 7SM mean? That's a little bit easier. Let's throw that out to the chat and see if they can come up with the correct answer.
And keep it clean.
Yes. What part of the no colonoscopy jokes?
No S&M jokes is what I was going for.
That could still be considered a colonoscopy joke.
Oh yeah, could be though, but...
No colonoscopies were included in making this.
Lawrence says 7 statute miles. Oh, and now he's calling. He's already moving ahead. Lawrence has started moving ahead. Look here. Lawrence is saying, "Look."
Yep.
Oh,
he's moving ahead.
Oh yeah, he's right. He's the 7 statute mile and light rain and mist. Actually, BR
is mist. That one always trips me up. I can never remember that one for some reason.
And actually, Jason called it baby rain at some points when he's in the videos.
Well, baby rain is that's a good way to remember it. Actually, I guess that's why they call it BR baby rain.
Wait. Gotta have this. Gotta do this.
Is there a way I can mute you out, Cuppi? Geeks on it.
It's this. They do this to each other every week.
Sean,
he'll go to sleep now. He'll go to sleep now. Man.
I love British humor. Bring him in.
It's very dry. It's very
dry.
Bring him in.
Man. He's something else. He is something else.
He's the best.
All right, go, Ron. Sorry, we're
okay. Okay, the next one is BKN 009. Space OVC 20CB. Does anybody out in the chat want to try and take a crack at that one? A little harder than the next couple.
OVC 020CB. What does that mean?
Imagine trying to walk in and taking this test and not doing any study.
Yeah, I'd be screwed right now.
Overcast.
Okay, overcast is part of it. That's part of it.
So what is it? Baby rain and overcast.
It's broken at 900 feet.
Mike's right.
Novice Quads has
it. The ceiling's 900 feet broken.
Novice Quads has it.
Okay, good job, Novice. And it's still that's the first part. The second part they haven't got to yet. The OVC 020CB they haven't.
That's the question. That's the question. What is OVC 020CB?
Novice Quads does have it at overcast at 20,000.
Yep. I see that now.
And the CB stands for cumulus nimbus.
The
Yeah, rain clouds.
Because nimbus means rain.
Correct, Chuck. Correct.
All right. Yeah, that's the one thing.
Geeks Fun is saying, "Hey everybody." DeMarco's saying, "Hey everybody." Matt Cundiff's saying, "What's up, peeps?" And we're back to the beat star.
Okay, now the next one. Here's a little bit easier one.
Pick this one for Sean.
26/24.
Oh,
Yeah, that's for Sean.
Good. Oh, I thought you said John. Oh,
Just
that's
anybody
good.
for you
That
too,
intro.
John.
I do
Okay.
love that intro. That's pretty cool.
What
That $1,300 toy.
26/24 means?
26/24 means
Bueller.
Bueller.
we're waiting on the chat. Chat.
Matt
Chat.
Condiff ought to know
Chat,
this.
come
He's taking
on.
the test tomorrow. You know, he ought to know.
Anyone?
Oh yeah, Matt.
Anyone?
This is
Matt ought to know this one.
Ooh, Matt's
is your
taking the
course.
test tomorrow.
Mike, I thought it was just me that could remember this one.
Best
I
of
was
luck,
never good with
sir, on your
fractions.
test
It's been a
tomorrow.
while.
I was never good with fractions.
Bill, any answers out there? Should I throw it to my?
there's nothing in the chat at all.
I'm gonna throw this one to Michael Wright.
Matt
Wow.
Cundiff is like talking to everybody else.
Mike, you got a guess on this one?
26. I just don't remember
I'll
that.
give you a hint. Temperature 26 degrees Celsius. And what's the 24?
24. Dew point
That's the dew point's 24 degrees Celsius.
is dew point. Got it.
Okay, so that was a little tough. But the dew point's
right.
important on these weather-related ones. Okay, the next one is A2998. Anybody in the chat have a guess on what that one means?
Not seeing anything. No guesses. Johnny DRC saying hi. Sam Burns saying easy money and Matt. Matt Cundiff is still saying hi to everybody. He's saying hi to Sammy Sam, but no answers.
Okay, I'll throw it to one of the experts on the panel. Chuck, you want to take a crack at this one?
Oh no. I should have studied harder before this class.
Hey, John, we don't have to feel bad this week
No.
Yeah, exactly.
because these are 107 pilots. Woo!
Yeah, just be scared.
Mike, you want to take a crack at it?
I think we need to see what John says.
No, I have no clue. I would fail this test if I took it today.
Yeah,
This is the part that
exactly.
we all would
I
have
would just
failed
fail
if we
it.
didn't-
I'd bomb it. I have
Mike
not
must have done what I did.
this
We
far.
crammed like
It's
a month before.
That's really what I intend to do. Just cram it and take the test. Ron inspired me because he did
Cram
what?
it.
He did what? Three weeks? You said you studied for
See?
it, Ron? And
I don't even
Here's
have.
what you get, John.
Jason.
very nice, Ron. I saw that.
I don't even have to make colonoscopy jokes tonight.
No, you
Oh,
don't.
Just cram it, man. Just cram it.
We should not have come on this show. This is
Let me
embarrassing.
just blur it out.
It is.
It means altimeter 29.98. That's your altimeter reading.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, the next one. What's RMK mean? And this is kind of a simple one. Anybody in the chat know RMK?
Oh yeah. Sean said altimeter 298. Now he got that one, but
Oh,
they're
good
still
job.
everybody's still saying hi. So we're doing RMK. What now? RMK.
Oh, RMK.
Or RMK, but no A. RMK.
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 Let me just blurt this out. It's not even
Go ahead.
important. It's remarks.
Yeah, I had
At
to look
some
that one up.
point, after certain, whether they'll leave remarks and then there'll be more numbers, but this is really not that important. It just means remarks. Okay, the next one, AO2. This is one that I don't think even Jason talked about, so I'm going to skip right. I'm going to give you the answer. The station has automatic precipitation discriminator. I don't remember Jason even talking about that in the.
I don't remember him talking about that one at all.
Yeah,
There
I
were a
don't-
couple that really stumped me in the.
He didn't talk about it, but he put it on his printout. So,
Jason.
Okay.
Bring him in here.
yeah.
Where's Jason?
Okay, the next one. You know what?
Really?
The next. Let's just skip the next two because I don't remember him talking about the next two.
Wow.
Oh,
Excuse me, sir.
Dude,
I
this
just-
is embarrassing.
We didn't study these two questions in my class.
The FAA is going to make us retake this like every 6 months the way we're going.
Ron, what are you doing? What the hell are you doing, man? The FAA is gonna watch this show and they're gonna say, "Whoa, we need to go back to making these guys retest every couple of years." You don't even remember what you studied 2 months ago.
We're volunteering to do the free training, remember? Because we don't get paid anything. You can volunteer to be a free trainer.
I don't want to discourage anybody by reading like SLP 993 sea level pressure of 999.3 hectopascals. Either added either 9 or 10, whichever makes the number close to 1,000. He didn't cover that at all in the verbal stuff. It wasn't on the written exam that I see. It's no use giving people stuff that is probably never going to come. Now, if you're going to actually become a real pilot, maybe you need this. But
it's been 3 years since I've seen this, so I'm lost on this one.
Yeah, well, I can tell you, like a month ago, he didn't talk about it all in the these last three.
Yeah.
He didn't mention them verbally at all in the training. So
They just have a great course, though, Ron.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Now, the questions that you get, though, I mean, anything could come up, right? Because isn't it like randomly selected from their pool of questions? So
Yes,
you could, like, you didn't have those come up, but maybe they could.
Right. And Jason's thing too, like when you take his test, you don't get the same questions every time. Like if you keep taking the test over and over again, you'll see questions maybe you did see once before, but maybe not the time before, and then you'll see one you never saw before. So they're randomized on his testing online too.
Yeah. That I have seen.
If you take his test enough time, you'll see a kind of a little sample of almost everything. But okay, so we're done with METARs now.
It will be a METAR on the test, though. There'll be a METAR, at least one on the test.
Yeah. Now we'll go into TAFs. And TAFs, I mean, I read you their thing here about the forecast. Basically, what TAFs are, they're just a kind of a more complicated METAR where they kind of add on things of what may happen with the weather related stuff. And on the testing, you have to go in and you have to like kind of, they'll say one thing. They'll say something like, well, when do the clouds, when do they go from broken at 5,000 feet to broken at 10,000 feet? And you'll have to figure out where that occurs in the METAR because I want to know the time or something like that. So, I mean, I don't have a sample for the task, but the show will be over before we got it done anyways. Okay, the next thing on is the HEMS tool, and that stands for Helicopter Emergency Medical Service Tool. And what it is a tool to give the weather data for planes, helicopters, drones flying at low level. Like sometimes the airplane weather isn't really helping a drone pilot because that's the weather 10,000 feet up. But the helicopter, weather is kind of more in around our airspace. And
500 feet above ground level, or is it 400 above ground level? They're close
it's one or the other.
500,
I think, with a 100-foot buffer.
So anyhow, their weather would be more meaningful to us drone pilots in determining what our flights are. And you could go to what is it? I'm trying. I don't know the case here. The weather data. It's the same. It's with the I forget the website, but it's the one he says to go to all the time in the test. But I don't think I don't remember any questions about the HEM tool on the test at all. I mean, sometimes Jason tries to give you information to make you a better pilot. May not necessarily be in the test, but this could make you a better pilot. Now, weather briefs is the next number 4. And I did get tests on the weather briefs. There's basically 3 types of weather briefs. You can get these weather briefs and two ways. You can dial 1-800-WX-BRIEF and talk to a weather briefing expert on the phone, or you can go online. But I guess these people on the phone can really advise you of when you should and shouldn't fly. You can get some feedback and input from a live person. Now, does anybody know the 3 types of weather briefs?
Chat, come on, chat. We're counting on you. We don't want to give away these answers because we know you all are anxious to become 107 pilots. So throw some answers at us.
And again, like John says, this can always change, but this did come up on my actual test.
And remember, when he says briefs, we're not talking about underwear or anything. We're talking about, okay?
No underwear, no colonoscopies.
I'm heading off the funny business of the past.
Yes, and another thing that we did get some good news today. The implementation of remote ID has already been delayed by 30 days. Woo!
And you know how the government works slowly. That 30 days could turn into 60 days, Bill.
I'm hoping for a lot more than that.
90 days? Yeah. You know the wheels of government spin slow sometimes.
Well, we'll see. I'm hoping.
Okay,
Anyway,
Anna says Outlook is one, he thinks.
Yeah, let me throw it to my esteemed expert. Okay, Outlook is one of them.
Standard, abbreviated, and Outlook.
Great job, Ron at RL Photography, Ron Lockwood. Yes, that's the three that you need. And actually, the standard weather briefing is the one that kind of gives you everything. Like if that's the one, you'll get all the information you need. Now, if you've already done a lot of weather research on your own, and you have a lot of facts and figures in place, and you only need the abbreviated one to fill in the holes, of course you would call it to the abbreviated one. And the Outlook is more one where you want like a kind of a forecast. So but that is on the test. Maybe not all the the definitions were even a test too, not just knowing them all. But okay, topic number 5 here: stable versus unstable air. And in Jason's course, he talks about this constantly, the difference between stable and unstable air. But actually, when I went to do the test, I didn't receive a ton of questions in the test on it. But like as John said, you never know. So anybody have any, anybody know the definition of stable or unstable air?
I know that unstable air is clear.
And
visibility.
When I see an A, B, and C, I can pick it out.
Yeah,
right, exactly. Remember, when you're doing his test, when you're doing even the real test at the testing center, you have A, B, C. You have a good chance of being right, because usually one of the answers is so obviously wrong, you can throw it right out. So you're down to a 50-50 guess on most questions. But Chuck's right. Unstable air, when the wind's blowing, it's usually clear. It's blowing the clouds away too. And stable air is the one where you may have that low clouds, the low ceiling, which would be more difficult to fly, but less windy too. And the stable air would be when you chance of having precipitation, where the unstable air, you have very little chance of the precipitation. I'd say very little, but low. So, unstable, even though it may be windy, is really better for flying in most cases. So, anybody else want to add anything about stable or unstable air from the Chuck or Mike?
I like Art's solution.
Yeah, Art's got it all figured out.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the best answer.
I think Art's part 107 too.
He is. A couple of year and a half.
Stable air is more stable than unstable.
Hello, Jay Bird. Now the next section is surface friction, and I got to be totally honest. I don't remember anything about surface friction.
Does anybody here, or should we just skip this section?
I don't remember anything on the test on it. We're studying it.
Chuck, you remember anything about surface friction?
No, I'm hating myself.
Well, again, I don't remember him saying one thing about surface friction, even though it's a bullet point here on lesson 3. But I don't remember anything.
I'm hiding. I'm leaving this chat. This is not good.
Okay, we'll skip on the 7 here. 7 is a little more fun. Cloud formational types.
Look at that dog.
Anybody remember the? I'll just go right down some of them here.
Just walk around.
I mean, you have your high, middle, and low clouds. You have your cumulus clouds, and your we just said a minute ago. What's the S cloud?
Stratus
cloud. Thanks. And then you have like different types of fog: radiation fog, advection fog, precipitation fog. So you kind of have to know. Oh, and I did see these on the test. You have to know what creates the different type of fogs. which the show will be the next week's show will be on before I get done explaining what creates all these files.
Do we have a discount for Remote Pilot 101 to share with these guys?
I've asked Ron to reach out to Jason and see if we couldn't get one of those.
And I heard nothing back, but I only tried once. That's my fault.
But it's probably not going to happen, So it's okay.
And then there's number 8 is advanced weather, and I don't remember a lot about advanced weather either.
I'm just looking at Geek Spon's comment. I'm looking at Geek Spon's.
I know it's
advanced weather. That's
advanced weather. I don't remember a lot about advanced weather. And then number 9 is flight services and NOTAMs or whatever. And we all know NOTAMs. Notice the airman, and that's like a special notification that be aware of something, or maybe not even fly at a certain point, and all that can be found on such apps as Kitty Hawk and Air Map and what's the other one that's pretty good?
UAV forecast. Yeah, that was where I first learned about NOTAMs.
Yeah, so they can all be found there. Even though his is all old school, he recommends like going to a big website or
Chuck threatened every time I gave a colonoscopy joke that he was going to start the DJI FPV
I don't have
drone.
enough battery for that, man. I'm already running low. This thing's running low on battery. Look, 2 bars.
Wow.
Okay.
Blew the hell out of it. Now it's rusting.
Sorry, Ron. Sorry.
Okay, I'm hurrying through that. We can get the more colonoscopy jokes and FPV drone stories. Okay, we're going to start the quiz now, and we're going to have to Bill. We're going to have to go rifle through this quiz because it's 23 questions.
No, you don't have to rifle through it. Go ahead and do it, and we want the chat to participate and try.
Okay.
We really want to have our expert panel be the last effort or last ditch resort to give an answer
this evening.
Okay,
that's the whole point. Is when this is going on. The part of this is I want people to watch it basically because we're nuts anyway, and we always put on a good show. But also, I want people to understand what's involved in getting your 107 because it's not just a little skip through the park. It takes some time and effort. You got to put in some study, and it's not like you're just going to go in and blow through it and make it an ace the test. Billy didn't study and damn near failed. So that gives you an idea. So, it's not
the weather
simple.
is why. The weather is why.
And Billy's a college student.
The problem with the weather stuff is that if you don't, like after I took the exam, I was like, I'm going to forget this stuff if I don't use it. So I'd look at the local, you can look up METARs and TAFs online at your local region, whatever, like KSYR for me. And see them oh yeah, that's what they are. And then I stopped doing that. And then 6 months later.
Right, because there's a lot of this that we just don't really end up using day to day.
That's the problem. You're not using
flying a drone. And math is the same way. Like if you were to ask me about Calculus 1 or Calculus 2 at this point, I'd be able to, give you some information on the concepts. But as far as solving a problem here, solve integrals right here, right now. I would be like
dx, fdx.
Yeah,
I got to say something really quick to Sean. Actually, no, Sean. That was the sound they said I had to make before they would let me leave.
John, that's even more so when you get to airport markings, taxiways and airways.
Makes sense.
All right. Well, okay. I'll stop.
Well, continue. Continue, Professor.
We may be making this sound hard. It is not easy. You do have to study and learn, but it's not as hard. I don't think it's as hard as we're making it sound here either. So sorry about that.
We skipped half of tonight's lesson, and we're just on lesson 3.
Well, Ron, since it's multiple choice too.
You know what? Here's the deal. The FAA is watching right now. And every question that we said, oh, that wasn't on there, that we skipped, they went, oh, put that on
on there. I'll tell you, when I took the test, the first 10 questions were mind blowing and nothing I remembered at all. I was just then I started panicking. I'm like, I can't miss any more of these probably. And then I think they do that on purpose. They get you all worked up. and you're like panicking the rest of the way through the exam. And
it seems like we're doing remote part 101 when they give you the quizzes. Usually, like the first one's usually like a softball. The first one's like real easy. You think, "Oh, I got this," and then they get tougher. But on to question number 1. Okay, an almond or lens-shaped cloud which appears stationary, but which may contain winds of 50 knots or more.
Oh, I know
is
that one.
Referred to as
lenticular cloud.
A funnel cloud. Number 2, a lenticular cloud, or number 3, an active frontal cloud.
Lenticular cloud.
Okay, one more time, folks in the chat. Number 1, a funnel cloud. Number 2, a lenticular cloud, or number 3, an active frontal cloud.
Cloud.
Yeah. Anybody have a guess on? Just say 1, 2, or 3. Bill, any numbers popping up there on the big screen?
Michael from Flight Zone is saying 2.
Number 2.
Correct.
Johnny is saying 2. Geeks Fun is saying 4.
No, 2. Lenticular.
And you got Mike and Chuck. Do you remember on the training? Jason
it was awesome looking.
A big picture of the cloud or whatever.
It's awesome looking. That's why it sticks in my head. It came around like the mountain. And you don't fly anywhere near those things unless you want to crash for sure.
No, if anybody took Jason's course, nobody would ever get this question long because
he beat that one
of the graphic he shows.
It was awesome.
It's the one thing you remember. If
it looked like a saucer. It looked like a flying saucer landing on the mountain.
Okay, so we are the chat is right. Number 2. So okay, let's click next now. Okay, number 2. You have received an Outlook briefing. Remember, we covered Outlook briefings from flight service through 1-800-WXbrief.com. The briefing indicates you can expect a low-level temperature inversion with a high relative humidity. What weather conditions would you expect? Number 1, light wind shear, poor visibility, haze and light rain. Number 2, smooth air, poor visibility, fog, haze, or low clouds. And number 3, turbulent air, poor visibility, fog, low stratus type clouds, and showery precipitation. Stuff it.
That's one of the ones I would stare at. And then I think
I know, I'd have to really.
It's really hard verbally. It's hard to answer that. It's hard to answer that question presented verbally because you have to think about the elements of the question, like when you're looking at. Remember, we're talking about stable and unstable air, and how they have moisture content and not, and all that stuff, and you have to think it all through.
Now, Chris Hope says C.
He says what?
C.
C. Number 3. So he says turbulent air, poor visibility, fog, low stratus type clouds, and shower precipitation.
Donnie D said, read the question again. Please.
Okay, read the question again. You have received an Outlook briefing from flight service through 1-800-WXbrief.com. The briefing indicates you expect a low-level temperature inversion with high relative humidity. What weather conditions would you expect? Number 1, light rain, shear, poor visibility, haze and light rain. Number 2, smooth air, poor visibility, fog, haze, or low clouds. And number 3, turbulent air, poor visibility, fog, low stratus type clouds, and shower precipitation. To be honest, I don't really remember the answer to this. I've already forgotten.
Oh my God, Ron!
But don't worry, don't worry, it won't be on the test.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
Actually, it probably will be, and then fog formation is always on there, and it's really there's some weird questions on fog.
So what do we decide here?
What do we do?
Somebody said 2, somebody said 3. What's our?
Somebody said 4, somebody's saying 5.
It's all over the place, literally.
I say
A, B, C. Greg Pittman saying A, B, and C.
None of the above.
Let's go to our panel experts. Then Mike, Chuck, what do you guys go for? 1, 2, or 3?
I'm going to say 2.
I'm going to say 3.
I'm going to go with 2 because this guy knows his stuff.
Okay, we're going to stick with 2. And since I don't know the answer, we won't know until the end when we see the grade.
In the tape.
Come on.
Okay,
We'll find out if we get our 107 license or not.
But Bill said
Oh my
this is
God.
important to know that this isn't some little like like nothing test. You gotta study.
We're echoing again.
Not from me. Not from me.
I only have one window open.
We're good. Go.
Well, the good thing is, you know what they say: C's get degrees, and hopefully that also translates to this.
Get degrees.
Yeah,
I think it does.
C's
Is that
get
in engineering
degrees.
school, John? That was your motto.
Actually, no. I was a straight A student, more or less.
Yeah, I pissed my professors off. I would show up at the beginning of class, at the beginning of the semester, and then I would always sign up for classes that didn't have attendance policies. And then I would show up for the midterm, and then I would show up at the end, and I'd manage to pass, and they'd get pissed.
I did
No,
that
I was
for
a
Spanish.
stickler. I was at every class, and I gave it my 100%. And part of the reason I did that is because if things ever started getting stupid, I couldn't blame myself because I could say, well, I was at every class.
Wow, for engineering, I took Spanish just because I had taken it in 7th and 8th grade, and I figured I'd coast through it. My buddy did the same thing. We took it. We showed up. She said when all the tests were, so we showed up for the tests. We never show up any other time. Then she decided to make the last test like an oral exam.
Oh.
Yeah, so we failed, and then we went in and bitched to her about it. We're like, you can't do that. You said you were given a written exam. You changed the curriculum. You can't do that. And she's like, why did you guys take the class? Like, because we're in engineering school, we need something easy to coast with. So we, bueno, Espanol.
I was forced to take Spanish. My college had mandatory Spanish, or rather, mandatory language.
I was going to say they had mandatory Spanish.
Yeah, it was mandatory language. Yeah,
Yeah.
but most people take Spanish because it's easy for what you're doing.
Parlez-vous français? That's what I took in college.
Simpatico. Anyway, so she let us take the exam in the end, and then we both got C pluses, which pissed us off. But at least we didn't get Fs.
All right, cool,
There
Ron.
you go.
Go with it,
C's
Ron.
get degrees. There you go. Right there.
The answer was we think B.
We think it was two. Yeah,
We think it was All right, go for it.
We're
Ron.
going to a better question here. Number 3. What are the characteristics of unstable air? Remember, we talked about stable and unstable air in the review. Okay, number 1. This is the characteristics of unstable air: turbulence and good surface visibility. Number 2, nimbostratus clouds and good surface visibility. Number 3, turbulence and poor surface visibility. Anybody in the chat have any guesses or answers?
We don't have any yet.
I wish we could put these questions on the screen with the answers, so you can
We need to do a little more planning
because
we get that.
Yeah, because you said it was Ron. Read the question one more time.
What are the characteristics of unstable air?
Right.
Number 1, turbulence and good surface visibility. Number 2, nimbostratus clouds and good surface visibility. Number 3, turbulence and poor surface visibility.
I know how they threw that one in there to confuse the hell out of it. Okay, we got a 1, and we got a 4, we got a C, and we got a 1. We got 2 1s. We got an all the above. We got a 1. So we got more 1s than anything. Which I tend to agree with the 1.
Unstable air is good visibility.
Right.
So that's
and turbulence in order to push the breeze, the patterns through.
Yeah.
You guys are correct. It's number 1. Okay, next question, folks. Okay.
I remembered that from Ron talking about it tonight.
There you go.
Just from Ron talking about it.
Learn something.
So you're learning something, Bill.
I'm not denying. That's the whole point.
It goes against your best judgment. You think turbulent air must be bad, right? It just goes against what seems rational.
I guess it's a good way of thinking about it or to remember it, right?
The Chrysler method. Everything's backwards. The Chrysler method.
When you realize what it's doing, its purpose, then you realize that it's a good thing because Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, it is. Question 4. To get a complete weather overview for the planned flight, the remote pilot in command should obtain we covered this too, A, standard weather briefing, 2, outlook briefing, or 3, abbreviated briefing. So that again, to
Didn't say a word.
Yeah, to get a complete a weather overview, number 1, standard briefing. Number 2, outlook briefing. Number 3, abbreviated briefing. Any guesses in the chat?
Not yet.
1, 2, or 3?
2 or 3. 1, 2, or 3. No guesses as of yet.
And we covered this in our review.
I see a bunch of ones.
Well, I'm waiting on it to roll in for me to post.
We all have, remember we have the delay here.
Yeah, we got everything's 1 so far. Greg Pittman 1. Johnny DRC 1. Jade Bird Drone 1. Fly Zone Drone Copters 1.
Drone Shots 1. JSK
1. Hey, that's cool. That works. That's still
A. So we can check number 1 here with confidence. It is the standard briefing, the one that gives you all the information.
All right,
sir.
So we got some good answers. Okay, number 5. Here we go with the weather again. What is a characteristic of stable air? Now, we did unstable air characteristics. Now we're on stable air characteristics.
Hang on. Now, here, before we get into this question, remember the characteristics of unstable air that we just went over.
Now he's a trained expert here.
But
hey, I'm not the one that...
Phil's getting his card next week.
No, I just released some more air.
Pretty much.
Oh dear Lord!
Unstable air, Phil? Okay.
Where's the drone? Where's yours, Mike?
Here we go. Characteristics of
It's at
stable
home.
air.
I'm at the office.
Number 1, cumulus clouds. Number 2, unlimited visibility. And number 3, stratiform clouds. Again, that's the characteristics of stable air. Number 1, cumulus clouds. Number 2, unlimited visibility. And number 3, stratiform clouds. Anybody have any guesses out in the chat?
Can rule out number 2 for sure. 2 is a no. It's 1 or 3.
We got a number 1 and a number 1 and a number 1. Now the cue, I guess the clue there was the type of clouds that were
in
the formation. Actually, it was cumulus clouds, not nimbus clouds.
I'm sorry, cumulus.
The correct answer is number 1, the cumulus clouds, and they tend to be, lower clouds.
Actually, is that question on there, Ron? How clouds are defined?
I think Jason answered the training course, but I didn't see it in the real test. Yeah, the levels. Yep. Yeah, maybe we'll get to that. Okay, so let me click one and move on here because we're only on the 6 of 23. Under what conditions does frost form? Number 1, when the surface temperature is below the dew point in freezing temperatures. Number 2, when advection fog is present. And number 3, when the surface temperature is below the dew point in any temperatures. One more time here. What conditions does frost form? Number 1, when the surface temperature is below the dew point in freezing temperatures. Number 2, when advection fog is present. And number 3, when the surface temperature is below the dew point in any temperature.
Oh, yeah.
Any guesses in the chat?
I'm seeing 1s.
I say 1.
I say 3. I live in upstate New York. I've seen frost in 38 degrees. That's above freezing, gentlemen.
I'm not saying it. It said surface temperature. It didn't say that the actual air temperature had to be below freezing.
Oh, I probably got it wrong then.
Yeah, I believe number 1 is the answer. I'm not doubting Chuck's physics here, but
I am. I'm doubting.
What is it now? Everybody's going, I live in Chicago. I live in New York.
I think number 1 is the answer.
At least I was wrong. With confidence, I was wrong. How's that?
Well, when we review, remember number 6. Remember question 6. If it's 3 instead of 1, you were right.
Sam's with you, Chuck. Sam's with you.
Sam, we're going down in flames, brother. Sorry, man.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay, number 7. What
7.
situation is most conductive to the formation of radiation fog? Okay, number 1, the movement of the cold air over much warmer water. Number 2, warm, moist air over low, flatland areas on the clear, calm nights. And number 3, moist tropical air moving over cold offshore water. Again, a formation of radiation fog. movement of cold air over much warmer water. Number 2, warm, moist air over low, flatland areas on clear, calm nights. And number 3, moist tropical air moving over cold, offshore water. Okay, anybody have any guesses? 1, 2, or 3 in the chat?
Got a 3 and a 1 so far. A 3, and a 1. And another 3, and another 3.
Reading that question.
Well, I'm gonna say 3 also myself. And then now we got a 1. Everybody's leaving out 2. There's like, oh, we got it. Well, let's just eliminate 1. 3.
So we got a lot. 1 to 3s.
Another 3.
Is it about even, or is 3 beating 1?
Wait a minute. Do we know the answer?
Mike, what do you think?
3.
I'm thinking 3 too.
I'm thinking 3.
I'm saying we're. Wait a minute. I need to get my dice.
To get the magic 8 ball out.
Yeah.
Signs say yes.
Well, it seemed because you know what kind of led me off on it? It had nothing to do with studying at all. I was trying to think, okay, radiation.
Right.
The warm tropical air over cold. Yeah, that sounds, because it sounded better than the first one, number 1, because it was just kind of like warm air, cold water, And I was like, nah, let's go with
actually. If I almost, Ron, I kind of remember this question, but I don't remember if it was 1 or 2. But I'd swear it was 1 or 2.
Well, okay, we'll work through this. Okay, which one would be a vex? Which one would be a
Is that
vex
weird?
shock?
I remember getting pissed off because it was like,
Sorry, guys, this was intended to help.
yeah, I know.
We're confusing the shit out of everybody, man. Woo! I'm going 3
And be ready, guys. One of the next questions will probably be what caused.
We'll know at the end. We'll know at the end. We got to remember this is not
Okay, so are we collecting 3, guys, Bill? Did we get more 3s?
Hey, you're taking the test, man.
Well, you were looking at the chat. What did we see more of?
We got more 3s than 1s.
Okay, we're going to go with 3 then.
All right.
Okay, next. What are the characteristics of moist, unstable air mass? Okay, number 1, haze and smoke. Number 2, turbulence and showery precipitation. And number 3, poor visibility and smooth air. Now, this is the characteristics of moist, unstable air mass. Number 1 was haze and
moist,
smoke.
unstable air mass.
Number 2, turbulence and showery precipitation. And number 3, poor visibility and smooth air.
Now, I'm going to say 2.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 2 as well. Just see if we're right.
Yeah, Johnny D saying 2.
None of the above.
Chuck saying none of the above.
Well, you can throw haze and smoke out because smoke has nothing to do with the weather.
A
That's a good process of elimination.
Maybe it's in the Pacific Northwest. There could
And now, Mike, wasn't it like, isn't it some oddity where like, it says unstable air mass, but doesn't an unstable air mass
have good visibility?
Smooth air, and it doesn't, and it's like it sounds like the opposite, but doesn't it equate to smooth air? Do you remember that part, Mike?
It does.
Unstable is supposed to be good visibility, so we're talking about all this precipitation and stuff.
But it was moist to begin with, man.
Yeah.
So what did the chat?
So it's just a humid day, so it's going to be muggy. There's going to be haze. I don't know. It's up to you. Everybody's saying I'm not going to say anything anymore because it's like I'm just guessing, guys. I don't really know. I didn't study.
What was the main? What did the chat say?
Most of them said 2. Gary.
Okay, we're going with 2.
Nemo says everybody calm down. He's here now, so everybody calm down.
He's not here, but he's here.
Go on.
He's
okay,
here.
Question 9.
Oh, he's there, but he's here.
A
All right, keep going.
Most likely to have which characteristic? Poor surface visibility. That was number 1. Number 2, turbulent air, or number 3, showery precipitation. That's the stable air mass most likely to have which characteristic? Poor surface visibility, turbulent air, or showery precipitation. Now, we talked about this one in the review.
Who knows?
Yeah, we did. Well, let's see what we get.
Anybody in the chat put anything in yet, Bill?
Nothing yet. Just
Nemo says,
Gary
"Where
was
am I?"
Gary said something about flying a drone and disrupting flights. That somebody down there in Greensboro did something down there. We got a number 2 coming in. We got a 1 coming in. We got a 2 coming
Nemo
in.
said 1 because he's at poor visibility, which I believe was answer number 1, right, Ron?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is the correct answer.
And Johnny D is saying 3. Did y'all hear about that? That flights got disrupted by somebody flying a drone down in North Carolina? No.
That one.
No. Looks like we
Again.
lost a dog. My wife lost a dog. She's brown and white. She sticks out, but she's got blue eyes. Anybody there? We're okay. Go ahead, Ron.
I'm going with number 1. What do you guys say?
Yeah, number 1 sounds good to me. Number
We
1
talked
sounds
about
good to
that
me.
early on. It's one of the
Mike,
things.
number 1, right?
Number
One of
one.
the things I do remember.
Well, yeah, we're trying to get through. We're going to do more planning. We got a whole month to go to more organized for the next one. Mike, you're more than welcome to come back and help us out too.
Good.
We're just trying to get.
Absolutely.
I want to turn this into a teaching mechanism. We might have to do some of the earlier episodes over again once we get our rhythm. But chat, you help us out. Everybody help us out. We want to make this a teaching tool.
I would prefer to know what sections we're going to do next time. So
I found out about 6:45 this evening.
Number 4.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Number 4 on the remote ID. Okay, you all go ahead, and I'm going to look at it, and I'll figure out what.
Bill, you got to help me out. I put this one has a METAR in it, number 10. I put the METAR in the private chat. Could you share it in the?
Gotcha. Okay, Cuppi. Coming back. Boom, boom. Coming in, METAR.
Okay, here's the question. What is the significance of seeing CB in the METAR sky cover section? Okay, number 1, stratus clouds. Number 2, cumulus nimbus clouds. Number 3, cirrus clouds. Now, the question again, what is the significance of seeing CB in the METAR? Number 1, stratus clouds. Number 2, cumulus nimbus clouds. And number 3, cirrus clouds. Anybody in the chat have a guess? 1, 2, or 3?
Those.
And I think this was in our test METAR. I mean, our sample METAR at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
No.
missed.
Okay, we got a 3. We have a 2, and we have a 2 so far.
I know that KFAR is Fargo. It's the
Really?
airport.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I believe
K
so.
They always use
K
Fargo
fart.
on that test for some reason.
K fart.
I didn't say fart. I said Fargo.
2.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of 2s coming in. Wait a minute.
A lot of
Let me
2s?
back up here. Okay, I lost it. There it is.
Okay, I believe 2 is the correct answer. We're going to.
All right.
We did this in a sample one. CB stood for cumulus nimbus in the sample when we did top of the show. So we will answer 2 here. Okay,
All right.
number 11.
Do we need this?
Go ahead, Bill.
We still need this up?
We're done with it. Thanks, Bill.
All right, cool.
Okay. The suffix nimbus used in naming clouds means, number 1, a rain cloud. Number 2, a cloud with extensive vertical development. Number 3, a middle cloud containing ice pellets.
We were talking about this beforehand.
This is
Yeah.
it. The suffix nimbus.
Nimbus.
Naming cloud. Nimbus means, number 1, rain cloud. Number 2, cloud with extensive vertical development. Number 3, a middle cloud containing ice pellets. Anybody can have a guess? 1, 2, 3. What nimbus means?
Purple rain.
I just thought the second one was a cloud with extensive vertical development.
I like the one with the ice pellets.
Oh, wow. Most of them are saying 2.
No.
Wow, guys, you've bombed on that one.
Yeah, it's rain.
Think about this. Cumulonimbus. What is a cumulonimbus cloud? Think about that.
Greek for rain.
Remember, cumulonimbus is what?
Ron?
A thunderstorm.
Ron, is nimbus Greek for rain or something?
Yeah, I forget if Jason explains it, but he makes a big deal on nimbus in the thing. You can't forget this because Jason really talks about it, but I don't know if he told us the origin.
Yeah, there are certain elements he beats into your brain, and that's one of them.
And I I think all back in high school, I think I took some kind of class on Greek history.
Science.
All right, so
I
it's
very little of it.
So it's rain cloud, right? Number one.
Rain cloud, yeah,
number one.
Rain cloud. All right, moving on.
Number 12. What is the definition of a ceiling? This is a good one here. This was on my test. Any cloud. Number one, any cloud at any altitude. Number two, the lowest cloud layer, and number three, the lowest broken or overcast cloud layer. So this is definition of the ceiling. Number one, any cloud at any altitude. Number two, the lower cloud layer, or number three, the lowest broken or overcast layer.
Wow.
Anybody in the chat have any
Well,
guesses?
I feel.
We don't
like
have
I'm
anything
tripping
yet. We have a props off says 2. John says Nemo.
up Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo.
Oh, okay. They're talking FPV. Give us a moment. We're getting there. We're halfway done.
What,
2.
somebody
We
say
have two
now.
twos.
Somebody say FPV.
2 twos. 2 twos. Hey, that was only on colonoscopy jokes. Oh, I just made one. Now you get to start it. Damn.
You still come up with a lot of twos, huh?
Yep, still coming up with twos. Twos. No, that's the only answer we've got right now is 2.
I'm a little
But
concerned
I'm
with
going
that
to
question.
my expert panel up here. Mike, what do you have on this one?
I say 2.
Chuck?
I'm struggling with this one. For some reason I want to remember it was broken and scattered clouds. It's the lowest. I know it's the lowest layer of clouds, but for some reason I thought it was like one of those trick questions. It was just broken and scattered for some reason. I don't know.
But wouldn't that still be the lowest cloud?
There was something weird to it. No,
Chuck,
I'm going with 2, but
Chuck, I'm agreeing with Chuck. I think it's the lowest broken.
I thought it was, but I'm really
So
torn
that
because
is
I can't.
number 3.
But
Ron is
should I go with the chat though? The chat said 2.
Can majority wins.
Wait a minute. The 3 of you on the top are 107 pilots, man. And you're like, hey, you guys aren't 107. We'll take your word for it. No.
This crap a year ago.
It was 3 years ago.
We'll defer to the panel here. Well, actually, the panel split because Mike thinks it's number 2.
I'm embarrassed.
What do you think, John? I'm saying 2.
I'm just gonna say 2.
Let's go with 2 then. The majority says 2. Only Chuck and I think it's 3.
If I was on the
Well,
test,
we'll
I
find
would just
the whole-
pick 2
I
if I
can't
was
wait till
blind.
I can't wait till we get to the end and find out where we messed up.
And that was number 12 that was that big debate there. Okay. Number 13, a stable air mass is most likely to have which characteristic? Number 1, showery precipitation. Number 2, turbulent air. Or number 3, poor surface visibility. That's a characteristic of the stable air mass. Number 1, showery precipitation. Number 2, turbulent air. And number 3, poor surface visibility. All right. Any guesses out there in the chat?
Drone Shots is saying number 2.
Okay.
Pittman is saying 1. Chris Hope is saying 3. Chuck is saying 3. Johnny D is saying 3. Michael is saying 3.
I'm gonna go with 3.
Props off says, could you repeat the question?
Okay, this is the characteristic of a stable air mass. Showery precipitation is number 1. Number 2 is turbulent air. And number 3 is poor surface visibility. And actually, they're saying which stable air mass is most likely. Okay, so maybe 2 of these answers could possibly fit. But what is the most likely? Because 2 of the answers could possibly be it. But it's asking what the most likely one is.
Okay, so we have a 3, a 3, a 2, a 3.
Oh, he's still an airline.
He said, well, Props
Nemo
off
will
said
like
1.
you.
Props off said 1. 3 means C for Cuppi.
Oh, okay. My panel the expert panel can come in here, but okay, I 2 of them could fit showers or poor surface visibilities, but they're saying most likely. So I believe it's 3. The poor surface visibility is the most likely scenario.
Okay.
Even though shower could be a scenario, but I don't think it's the most likely. Mike, what do you think?
3. I agree.
And Chuck, you like 3?
For sure, yeah, 3.
And Bill, what did the chat say 3 or they split?
The majority said 3, but there was a variety of answers.
We're
but the majority said
we're
3.
solid 3 on this one.
Okay.
Number I gotta give you METAR again, Bill. Hold on.
All right. And in the private chat. METAR again, folks. METAR, UTAR.
Your favorite thing is the good old METAR.
METAR, UTAR, SHETAR, PTAR.
METAR. It's not like something
this is important, guys.
Something Beldar Conehead would say.
METARs are important. Once you agree, Mike and Chuck, METARs is something you got to have.
At least
it's also the easiest thing to forget after you cram it in your head for the exam.
Yeah, that's right.
As we noted earlier in this broadcast.
So the best advice, Chuck, is not to wait too long before you finish the course and you take the test. You want that short gap so you don't forget much.
I guess you all would really hate binary then.
Binary? I'm actually good with binary and hex.
I love machine language. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Ron.
That's easier than weather.
What is the weather at the Fargo airport? Oh, remember Chuck called out Fargo in the last METAR. Okay, what is the weather at the Fargo airport? Number 1, winds from the north at 60 knots and clear. Number 2, winds from the north at 6 knots and clear. And number 3, winds from the south at 6 knots and clear. Okay, this is weather at the Fargo airport. Number 1, winds from the north at 60 knots and clear. Number 2, winds from the north at 6 knots and clear. And winds from the south at 6 knots and clear. So does anybody have a guess in the chat? 1, 2, or 3 are METAR experts out there?
Nothing yet. Still nothing. Now y'all might see it if you're watching the show.
Okay,
I'm just staring at the METAR and I know the answer.
Let me help him a little bit, Bill. Go to the second set of numbers. The one the 6. The 3600 6.
Wait a minute, so we're telling them words. I know where I saw
you want to look in there. Now the 360, you have to think of it like as a like
north.
Like 360 all the way around. So the direction is the 360, and the 6 is the knots. But the question is there: do you have to put zeros behind that 6 or not?
Well, not since it's in the ones position.
No, not because that's just straight up knots. It's just 6 knots.
Okay, and then after that,
north.
Look at the 10SM doesn't really mean anything there. But
okay, what am I going? You want another one?
The CLR will be very helpful for getting this answer correct.
Okay,
CLR.
CLR. Isn't that stuff that you clean stuff?
That's
with?
the stuff you took a few days ago.
You have to drink all that junk, Bill?
You're not allowed to start your drone now.
Bill, do we have any answers in the chat?
The prep.
We got mostly 2s and 1 3.
Yeah, coast to coast drones. CLR.
What does CLR mean, gentlemen? I mean, that's pretty simple.
That's a pretty easy one.
That's an easy acronym to pick up on.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, how about my experts on the panel here? Mike, what do you have on this one?
CLR. Clear.
No, but he was. What was it? It was one. How
many?
Out
of the north, 6 knots out of the north and clear. Yeah, I mean that was those are the elements in the correct answer here.
Well, and you were saying, Ron. Remember, you did you got to figure out because here's 0, and then 360 is going to go all the way around. You're going to end right back here, and then like we were talking about, it doesn't have like a 1 or it's not 6 0. It's 0 6. So it's the 6 in the ones position. So it's going to be a 6.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be coming from the north at 6. You don't add any zeros after the 6 and knots here. So okay, we will put 2 down and move on to question 15. Okay, clouds are divided into 4 families according to their number 1, composition. Number 2, outward shape, or number 3, their height range. We'll repeat one more time. Clouds are divided into 4 families. Number 1, or according to their number 1, composition. Number 2, outward shape, and number 3, height range. Okay, any guesses out there in the chat? 1, 2, or 3? Good night.
Yeah, next week's going to be a good show, man.
Don't feature my channel again. That makes
we're gonna have another special guest on.
Ooh, I like special guests.
You've already forgotten that quick. Next week is Kelly Shores.
Oh, Kelly. Yeah.
Shh. supposed to be a secret special guest, isn't it?
No, it's not. We've already talked about it 2 or 3 times. We just
Bill, the answer's coming in fast and furious here.
we got a 3, a 2, a 3, a 2, a 3. So they're stuck on 2 and 3.
Well, I'm going to defer to the expert panel here, Mike.
I forgot the question.
Yeah, run it by me one more time. But I think it's. I remember.
I think it's 3,
but
I've got to remember for
yeah,
sure.
I'm going with what these guys say.
it's
3.
the third. It was
Out
the
of the
third
cloud.
answer.
It's 3. Yeah, here's 3.
Okay, we're going 3 is the correct answer. Okay. Okay. Here we. Oh, this we got. Oh man, this is a. Hold on, got a big meatar here.
A big meatar. Meatar, peatar.
This is
guitar,
actually-
guitar. Is it going to be from Fargo again?
Hold on, I gotta
I find you unacceptable.
copy. I gotta
Take me to your meatar.
see if I could. Bill, this is actually, I think, kind of a good. Maybe
Not only have you delayed my departure, but all the events that were to follow. What possible reasons do you have for such deception?
No,
I can never be 107.
I think we're going to skip this one because this doesn't look.
Chico, the name is Chico.
Wait. We're already skipping a question now.
I'm sorry,
Well,
Ron.
I don't think I can't
I'm sorry.
copy and paste the meter over to you because it's like a web link.
By the way, meteor. It's meteorological aerodrome report.
Thank you. But yeah, I don't see a way of me copying and paste this over to the chat.
And its origin is French.
Did you put it in the private one there, Ron?
No, he's too long. He said it.
I think it just comes up as a website, and so people.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can. Oh, snap!
Yeah.
Oh no. We're good.
We can share the
I
screen.
can share this.
Share the screen.
Thank
boy,
you.
our producer bails us out again.
I was like, what the hell, man? Y'all are freaking out on me here. I was like, what the? Oh, wait a minute. I got
What the hell was that? Was that Cartman or Klingon? What was that?
Oh, yeah. I've been watching Discovery.
There you go.
I've been watching Discovery. Huh? Does that work?
Bill has our meter up on the screen here. Here's the question. What are the current conditions for the Chicago Midway Airport KMDW? Refer to figure 12, which is on the screen right now. And here are your choices. Number 1, sky, 7,000 feet overcast, visibility 2 statute miles, heavy rain. Number 2, sky 700 feet overcast, visibility 1.5 statute miles, rain. And number 3, sky 700 feet overcast, visibility 11, occasionally 2 SM with rain. So
What?
Could you read the second answer again, Ron? Actually, read the whole thing again.
The whole
Read the whole thing again.
Well, what are the current conditions for the Chicago Midway Airport? And the letters are KMDW. Okay, number 1, the sky 7,000 feet overcast, visibility 1.5 SM, heavy rain. Number 2, sky 700 feet overcast, visibility 1.5 SM, rain. And number 3, sky 700 feet overcast, visibility 11, occasionally 2 SM with rain. So
That's an easy one.
It is.
Because there's only one that matches that.
Exactly. You got
Well,
it,
I
Bill.
guess you should give everybody a clue because airports aren't always that easy, but Midway is MDW, KMDW.
You don't need to look at that.
At least get the right airport to start and give them like a.
He gave them.
Airport got to fly, though. You can be any airport. Look at the 5. There's only 2 other items in there that match.
Yeah, exactly.
So Mike, what's the chat saying here, Bill?
Mostly 2s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So sorry, guys. You want to now think about the question. Think about. We got. I think Sergio. Maybe earlier I think Drone Shot said 3. Michael said 2. Sergio said 3. Jay Bird said 1. Drone Shot says 2. Greg Pittman said 2. Drone Shot says 2 again. Michael says 2. Sergio says 2. Johnny D says, I don't know. I never fly over 50 feet.
So what was the consensus then, Bill?
Most of them are saying 2.
What about my expert panel here, Mike?
I'm going to say 3. I thought it was 3.
Chuck?
It's 2.
Two.
Which one? Say that again. What was the question again?
It is
At
2.
Midway.
What are the current
Okay.
for the Chicago Midway Airport? And the call letters are KMDW.
Right. All right. Go ahead. You said 2. Go ahead.
Okay. So number 2, that's a sky 700 feet over.
What number is this one? I want to write this down.
This is number 16.
All right. Cool.
So that's number 2.
All right.
Cool.
Okay.
And we're done sharing.
Yeah, we can.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. Okay, number 17 and 23. We're getting there, folks. Almost to the finish line. In which situation is advection fog most likely to form? Remember, we did radiation fog a little while back. Now we're doing advection. Number 1, an air mass moving inland from the coast in winter. Number 2, a light breeze blowing colder air out to sea. Or number 3, a warm, moist air mass on the windward side of mountains. Now, it's one more time. In which situation is advection fog most likely to form? Number 1, air mass moving inland from the coast in winter. Number 2, light breeze blowing colder air out to sea. And number 3, warm, moist air mass on the windward side of mountains. Okay, any guesses in the chat? 1, 2, or 3?
I have a number 2 so far. I'm just waiting on some more to drop in.
I seem to think advection fog is result of number 2. It would be nice if they gave you the definition of advection fog, but they expect you to know that to answer the question.
Right. You got to know your
the opposite of convection is
your 3 types of fog: your radiation fog, your advection fog, and your precipitation.
Okay,
fog.
we got a number 3, a number 3, a number 3, a number 2, a number 2, and a number 3. So they're going between 2 and 3. They're pretty much divided.
We'll refer to the expert panel here. Mike, what do you think on this one?
I believe 2.
Chuck.
I'm starting to have second guesses now. No, number 2.
Number 2.
I'm going to start doing this.
Alec.
So when Mike Wright calls a number, people start saying yes because he knows his stuff.
Not necessarily. I've looked at this again in 3 years, John. Weather.
I'm going with number 2 also.
The problem is
split the chat.
Yeah, it's usually
they're still divided. So Ron and the panel are going with number 2. Chuck is lost on the planet Claire, and I don't know either. John's saying 2.
I'm just gonna go with 2.
Okay, we're going with 2.
I really don't know. This would be a tough one on the test.
Okay, so number 17 is a big debate between 2 and 3. Okay, number 18. Here's another one of those. I have to give you the copy of the image or whatever to the chat. Another big meatar here that you're going to have to share the hard way, Bill.
When you take the exam, they give you the big book to flip through the pages to find this thing.
Oh, wow, man. That's cool. Sure.
So folks, hang in there. Bill's putting it up on the big screen here. This is another meatar. Actually,
meatar.
Sorry, it's a TAF.
The TAF. Yeah.
Yeah, TAF. Okay, so you want to know about passcodes. Here's a genuine TAF. Okay, refer to figure 15, which is on the screen. How does the weather change from 2200Z to 0200Z? And the possible answers are: number 1, lightning will start. Number 2, the ceiling drops from 1500 to 800. And number 3, the skies become clear. And one more time, how does the weather change from 2200Z to 0200Z? And the answers again: number 1, lightning will start. Number 2, the ceiling drops from 1500 to 800. And number 3, the skies become clear. Any guesses in the chat, Bill?
None yet. Yeah, no idea.
Ceiling drops from 15 to 8. Broken overcast. Yep.
Yeah, I don't see clear anywhere.
From 2200.
2. We got 2 guesses for 2. 2 guesses for 2.
Pretty sure.
A lot of 2s out there, Bill?
Well, I'm just waiting on the chat to load up.
Okay.
We don't have a whole lot of people in class. I think they're watching the argument.
Well, it's definitely the Memphis airport that we're looking at, not Oklahoma City, because OKC doesn't have anything in those time frames.
Right.
Yeah, there's
As a
nothing
clue,
there.
right? I mean, you
Nice
can
way
get
to break
from
it down.
yeah, and the FM is from.
Okay, so we got
There's no
I see that we got one number 3 from Jaybird, and then 2 number 2s. Johnny D saying he never saw a script like this. Well, this is like they're saying, this is a TAF. This is like more detailed information.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch
on
of
top
stuff
of the
in here.
METAR.
Yeah,
So there's a lot more info in a TAF. It's more individualized.
The staff is trying to predict what the weather will be in a time.
Well, don't usually TAFs go with larger airports anyway? Smaller airports don't usually have TAFs. Is that true?
You know, I don't remember Jason saying that in the course at all, but
I'm not so sure because isn't Memphis like isn't that Class Charlie airspace?
yeah, I'm not sure what how big Memphis is.
Look it up.
All right, so we've got 1 3, 1 2, 1 2. We have 3 2s and 1 3.
So we're gonna go with 2 on this one.
That's what they're saying. 2,
Okay.
number 2
2 for 18. Okay, next question, number 19. This is an easy one. What kind of air would you expect over a barren area on a hot day? Number 1, stratus clouds. Number 2, unstable air. Or number 3, stable air. Now, one more time. That's what kind of air would you expect over a barren area on a hot day? Number 1, stratus clouds. Number 2, unstable air. And number 3, stable air. Wright, chat. Come on.
Yeah, I know what I'm going with.
I know what I'm going with too.
We've got 2 and a 2. 2 2s so far. On a hot, barren area.
Barren area, hot day.
It's 2 more 2s.
2s.
And we're 2s are the consensus. Everybody's going 2. Wasn't 2 unstable air?
Unstable air.
Okay.
And the other answers were number 1, stratus clouds, and number 3, stable air.
Mm-hmm. How
about max per paddle? Mike?
2.
Chuck?
I'm going with 2 with unstable air.
Okay, so we're going to go with 2, Bill, right? It's a consensus here.
That's what everybody's saying.
Okay, number. Here we go again. I gotta send you another TAF here, Bill.
All right. Oh, another TAF.
Another TAF. We got
Another TAF. Not to be confused with President Taft.
Right.
TAF.
Maybe he invented TAF.
Maybe he invented old men's bladders because I got to go do something about it. Wait a minute. Which one is it? Wait a minute. Did I just bring up the same one again?
Bill.
It's the same. It's the same one, isn't it? Isn't it the same one?
Sometimes they use the same one over and over again.
It is the same one.
Oh,
yeah. I was like, hey, wait a minute, man.
Wow.
I was like, why am I showing the same thing again?
Okay,
All right.
Here we go, folks. When might the weather become 3SM BR SKC? That's one more time. When might the weather become 3SM BR SKC? Okay, number 1 on the 12th at 1200 Z. Number 2 on the 13th from 1000 Z to 1200 Z, and number 3 on the 13th at 0200 Z. And the Z is for Zulu.
Zulu time. I like the way Zulu.
And did you see, Chuck, that we had the BR, our little baby rain up there?
Yeah. Yep. But I thought, BKN is broken. BR is baby rain. But that was an easy one. Ron, that's an easy one, by the way.
At 3SMBR SKC. Number 1 on the 12th at 1200 Zulu. Number 2 on the 13th at 1000 Zulu to 1200 Zulu. And on the 13th at 0200 Zulu. Bill, any numbers popping up in the chat? 1, 2, 3?
There are a lot of 2s and there are a lot of correct answers.
Oh my gosh. A lot of correct answers. You're just saying.
No,
So
two. Yeah, well, I'll tell
two,
you right
three,
now.
two, and a 1, and a 2, and a 2. And I really need to study this part.
Me
I need to
too,
study
Johnny.
all of it, man.
Me too.
My daughter was in our bathroom, and I had to run to the client's restroom. Thank goodness nobody was there.
Do we have a consensus on this yet?
Seems to be more 2s than anything, but we're getting a 3 and a 1, and that's about it. Most
Better refer to the expert panel here. Mike?
2.
Chuck?
Fifth line, becoming on the 13th, right? 1310, 1312. Number 2 is the answer. See it? 3 statute miles, broken, scattered.
Yeah. Got one on the fourth line down. Yep. Chuck's got it. Number 2.
It's all there.
Now watch. I'll share this again in a second. We'll see.
Oh, it is. It is the same one again. To share it again. It's the same.
Well, they like to reuse them. Ron, you know they love to reuse these things.
Okay. Go ahead. So I'll go ahead. I'll get it back up. I'll just share it.
Get up there. I'm almost sure it's the same one.
All right.
Do you have it up?
Yeah, we're good.
Yep. It's
nightmares about this particular TAF or pair of TAFs.
How long is the TAF at KEM valid for? I'll read one more time. How long is the TAF at KMEM valid for? Number 1, the 12th of the month at 1800 Zulu to the 13th of the month at 2400 Zulu. Number 2, the 12th of the month to the 14th of the month. And number 3, the 12th at 1720 Zulu. One more time with number 1, the 12th of the month at 1800 Zulu to the 13th of the month at 2400 Zulu. Number 2, the 12th of the month to the 14th of the month. And number 3, the 12th at 1720 Zulu. Ooh. So study your TAF there and put either 1, 2, or 3 in the chat.
I'm going to answer in the private chat, Ron.
Okay.
Be quiet this time. Here you go.
I see.
Yeah.
You have a 1. I think it's a 1. I think 1's the first one.
It's funny. I'm getting better at these as we do more. It's coming back to me. It's so
we
weird.
got a 1, and then Jody's asking for you to repeat it one more time, please.
Okay, no problem. How long is the TAF at KMEM valid for? Number 1, the 12th of the month at 1800 Zulu to the 13th of the month at 2400 Zulu. Number 2, the 12th of the month to the 14th of the month. And number 3, the 12th at 1720 Zulu.
So 1, 2, or 3. So we got mostly 1s are what I'm seeing. Have 3 1s so far.
Mike, you agree with me?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Is it coming back to you too, Mike?
A little bit.
God, I sound like an idiot at the beginning of this thing, but now I'm starting to feel better.
Well, to me, it's kind of cool because I'm beginning to see stuff.
Yeah, well, I was so rusty when we started. Now it's starting to, the rust is falling off. It's getting kind of, I'm digging it.
Bill, do we have any consensus in the chat?
Seems, well, they're kind of bouncing around again. They're stuck between 2 and 1.
Okay.
We have to do random 107 tests on this show period. Just a couple.
We're gonna get a little more organized on it. We got a month to get it organized now, and like I said, we want it to be a teaching tool. So we'll do a little bit more organization with it. But this is we've got some good teaching stuff out tonight. That's the whole idea. It's not bad.
And the whole idea is to whet your appetite just enough to go over there and buy the whole course.
Yeah, and give you an idea of what you're gonna have to go through.
Yeah.
Well, Jason's stuff is really good. I know I was doing it on weekends for like 2 months.
Okay, so we've got a variety. What are we going with? We're going to go 1, 2, or 3. We have 2 2s, 2 1s, and a 3 from Sammy B.
Well, once referred to the expert panel here, then, since it's split in the chat. Mike, what do you got?
I said 1.
Chuck, what do you got?
Definitely 1. It's the first line of K Memphis. See the second set of characters, 12, 18, 13, 24.
I do.
That's the ticket right there.
Chuck's
the
got
12th of the
I
month
think
at
Chuck's
1800
right.
Zulu, and then to the 13th of the month, 2400 Zulu. They abbreviate, which is really kind of, it messes with your head. But
yeah, it does.
But they're putting a lot of information in just like 5 lines of text, and that's how they do it. And then, anyway,
watch, we're gonna need this again. Check, Ron, before I get rid of it.
Okay, actually, get rid of. We got a different one. You got. I think it's probably the one from maybe a couple times ago, but I'll give it to you again in case it's not. Okay. And this is the second to the last question here too. So,
but we still have to review that. Yeah, you're right. It was the first one again.
Okay,
that's okay. We're good. We can share and do it.
Back to a METAR, guys.
METAR. It's time for a METAR.
Okay, our good old METARs here. Now, here's the question: the wind direction and velocity at the JFK is from number 1, 180 true at 4 knots. Number 2, 180 magnetic at 4 knots. And number 3, 040 true at 1800 knots. Now, again, the question was the wind direction and velocity at the JFK airport is from number 1, 180 true at 4 knots, 180 degrees magnetic at 4 knots.
Hold on, Ron. Bill,
what?
Leave the thing alone. Okay, just leave it right there.
Wait. What?
And number 3,
busy.
At true at 1800 knots. And we didn't cover true or magnetic yet. But what's this? What's the old saying, Mike or Chuck, that he taught in the course? If
it's written, it's true.
If you hear it, it's magnetic.
If it's written, it's true.
Yes.
If you hear it, it's magnetic. If it's written,
Right.
if it's written, it's true. Correct.
So, and what that means a little bit is like when you're listening to like you have the radio tuned into the tower and you hear it, then that's true.
So was this a true or false question?
No.
No, you said, Ron, you said it backwards. You said if you hear it, it's magnetic.
Ron.
Magnetic. If it's written, it's true.
Right. I just reversed myself.
You reversed it. You confused our audience.
Yeah. Well,
Now.
Let's do the question.
My dyslexic side.
Let's do the question again.
The wind direction and velocity of the JFK is from, and then the 180 true at 4 knots, the 180 magnetic at 4 knots, and the 040 true at 18 knots. Okay, so we know what airport it is by the call, by the call letters up top. So that basically rounds it down to one line on there, correct?
Yeah. So we're at the bottom. We're obviously at the bottom. JSK is saying 3. Michael is saying number 1. Jody is saying number 1.
Which one seems to be the predominant answer here, Bill?
We got 2 number 3s and 2 number 1s.
I'll go with 3.
Did you just put that in, Mike?
Mike did just put it in.
I didn't
Okay.
private chat.
Yeah. In the private chat, yeah.
Yes.
Curtis is saying 5. Ha ha.
Hello, Curtis.
It's none of the above. 5, none of the above.
I don't remember the answers now. We got so to say about
number 1 is 180 true at 4 knots. Number 2,
stop. That's 1. No, stop.
3,
I couldn't remember that, Ron. It's 1. Yeah.
So what's our consensus in chat, Bill? Is it 1?
They're between 1 and 3.
Well, the
panel's
going to override here and go with 1.
1, because it's written, so it's true.
Yeah, you see on it's written right. Okay, it's like the 4th thing of numbers over that 18. 4 KT is the answer right there, and because you're reading it, Chuck, it's what?
It's 180 degrees true north.
Because you're reading it.
Because if it's written, it's true, and then the 04 is you're not.
Yeah.
So, Bill, there's trading for you. Well, that's A1 trading there. So we will click 1 and go on to our final question.
Before we begin review.
before we give a review. What are
this is helping me, Ron? You're actually helping me. It's coming back. This is crazy.
What are the characteristics of a moist, unstable air mass? Now,
I thought you were going to say something about the airspeed of an unladen swallow or something. Is that Bill's how you're thinking?
Well,
what
no.
I just velocity of an unladen
I was thinking
swallow?
that we've been over this moist subject a few times tonight.
Well, okay. Now, speaking of moisture, number 1, stratospheric clouds and showery precipitation. Number 2, humiform clouds and showery precipitation. And number 3, poor visibility and that smooth air. Now, this is the characteristics of a moist, unstable air mass. Number 1, stratiform clouds and showery precipitation. Number 2, humiform clouds and showery precipitation. And number 3, poor visibility and smooth air.
Ooh.
So, out in the chat, anybody have a guess? 1, 2, or 3?
So far we have a 2.
We got a 2.
We have a 2. What's he putting in?
I agree with you, Chuck.
Do you?
Yes.
And we have a 3, and we have another 2. Greg Pittman saying 3.
I might be getting cocky. I gotta be careful.
But
it's kind of like when I drink beer and bowl. I have like this bell curve of performance.
Okay, number 3. Okay, the question is about unstable air, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the answer to number 3 is poor visibility, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just checking.
Oops.
Just checking.
So, do we have a consensus?
We're getting more 2s than anything. So we've got 1 3 and 1 1, and mostly 2s.
Mike, I might change my mind.
Okay. Now, are you going to the panel now, Ron, or
because the chat split, right?
The chat's mainly saying 2.
Well, they're mainly saying 2. So should we? What does the expert panel say, Mike?
I think that they're split.
I'm afraid, but I'm saying 3.
Was it clear? Was the conditions were clear?
3. Yes.
Now 3 was not clear. 3 was poor visibility.
Poor visibility.
And smooth air.
Smooth air, poor visibility.
Let's take
Now here's the key. He'll determine the whole thing. Smooth air is a characteristic of what? Unstable air or stable air?
Unstable air.
That's unstable air.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then number 3 is the answer then.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stick to 3, but
3 is, but the whole point is unstable air gives good visibility, right? And number 3 is poor visibility. But we're talking about another moist mass. So it goes back to question 16, like we were talking about earlier. So it's up to you all.
Let's defer to the majority and go 2.
All right.
And we're going to finish the quiz.
All right.
Here are results.
We got to find out how if we flunked.
Oh, guess what? We got 19 out of 23 correct. We passed.
Cool. Well,
let's see here.
We got to find out what we failed on.
I'm going to view the questions. Okay, I'm only going to. Do you want me to talk about them all, or just the ones we got wrong?
Just the ones we got wrong.
Okay. Well, we got the first. We got the first 1, 2. We got the first 4 right. The first one we got wrong is what is the characteristics of stable air? Okay, we said it was cumulus clouds, but it should have been stratiform clouds.
Okay.
Okay, let's see here. We got the next one right, then we got another one wrong. What situation is the most conductive to the formation of radiation fog? Remember the radiation?
So it's not tropical air, man.
That's really those are bare questions for me anyway. Those are hard.
Tropical air moving over cold offshore water, but the real answer was the warm, moist air over low, flatland areas on clear, calm nights.
Okay.
Did we have a dispute on that? Were we all?
No, we didn't even consider that answer.
Yeah, I struggle with that one. I knew it wasn't the tropical one. I remember the tropical one was never the right answer for some reason. Bill, do you remember that too?
So how many? That's 2 we got.
Covered. That's 2. And what I said, we only got 4 wrong. Okay, we got like 4 in a row right. Then okay, here we go. But this is a big one, Bill. What is the definition of a ceiling? And we went with the lowest cloud layer.
And then you and Chuck got confused and said
I didn't. I went with broken or scattered.
Chuck and I told you guys it was the lowest broken overcast layer, but we deferred to the majority.
No, you all said that you thought it was. Don't make it sound like you were doing corrective stuff. You're like, well, I think so. And then you were like, okay, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we'll go with that. But we'll go ahead and concur with the chat. Yeah.
We can play it back, but if I recall, I was telling Ron I suspected it was broken and scattered for some reason. Yep. Because I remember Jason going over that.
Okay, so we got one more that we got wrong, right?
I think so. Okay, here we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 more right in a row, and then we got the METARs. We got a METAR one. The first METAR one we got right. And then here we go. What is what situation is a vection fog most likely to form? So we got the other fog wrong. So we got this fog wrong too. We said
all foggy.
We said a late breeze blowing colder air out to sea, and that was wrong. It was number 1, an air mass moving inland from the coast in winter.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay. So
we're not doing well on fog here at all. Okay. Then we got another METAR correct, Bill. Oh, we got a whole bunch. We got a METAR right. We got 2 we got 3 METARs in a row right. 4 METARs in a row right.
Well, you just gave 4 wrong answers, so we should
METAR mania.
We got them all right.
We're done. Yeah, we got all the hard METAR ones correct.
Nice.
Bill, if we would have knew our fog better, we'd have aced this.
Ron, I struggled with fog. I remember. So I was trying to just flat out memorize it because I couldn't meteorologically. I can't even say meteorologically. Couldn't figure it out. I couldn't logically understand why it occurred and how it occurred. And
I totally concur with Chuck. I had a hard time getting the fog because it seemed like when you'd read about fog one place, another place, it would be a little bit different. And I always was confused on the fog.
It went against my logic. It's like how fog condensing and all that. It just went against my logic. Which
Mike, what was the toughest part for you about this chapter 3?
The point is, Ron, we got 18 out of 23. That's 83%. That's good.
It's funny. That's what my exam score was.
It's better than 70.
I'm proud of the guys out there. Most of the chat did real good with the correct answers tonight, Bill.
Yeah, it was the majority were right, and that's a good thing. But like I said, don't we're gonna do a little bit more like Chuck was saying. We need to have the questions up. Maybe we could and I can go ahead and I may be able to open up the course on my end as well.
But of course, it gets into how much Jason want to show in his paid program.
Well, here's the thing: he's not the questions are not part of his paid program. They are test questions that are available to everybody on the internet. I'm not talking about actually showing, parts of his, because most of what he has there, his reference stuff, is going to government sites and stuff like that. Occasionally there'll be something, from that'll have like this on it. But we can read from things like this as a reference point.
Like I had the logo,
So you had the same page that I had. So and I had the same METAR that was loaded on that page as well, which is all well and good. But what we'll do is we'll get the questions up that we're going over as well, and maybe we can do like a METAR. We can have like a definition of METAR, what it means or something like that. Share that part of the screen, but. Yeah, but the big thing is I also know that since we're going to have our show next week is going to be with Kelly Shores, and it's going to be Luck of the Irish
Set, Drone.
It's going to be the Everyday or FPV Everyday or Air Day, and it's going to be Luck of the Irish, and it's going to be your greatest saves. So it doesn't necessarily have to be an FPV drone. You can talk about it with FPV drones, but if you have a camera drone that you had a good save with too, I'm sure that you can throw that out there. But the majority of it's going to be like the oh shit button, as Billy Kyle calls it, on the FPV drone. So So it would be, things like that and everything. So
you gonna give away a green ready set drone shirt?
No, Kelly's just gonna come and hang out and talk about FPV with us. I'm not gonna, the whole point was I sent out the invitation and he said yes. So I'm not gonna go, but you can suggest it, Chuck, if you would like. You can actually, when Kelly's here next week, you can say, hey, why don't you give away a green Ready Set Drone t-shirt?
Sounds like he's suggesting it now.
I don't have access to
it.
Kelly.
It's not my position. It's not my place.
I don't have access to Kelly's shirts, do I?
Yeah, I don't know. Do we?
Hey, Bill. We have somebody in the panel here, Mike, who hung out with Kelly at his last meetup in. Is it New Braunfels?
Nice. I had it New Braunfels actually, but
Kelly had a little hangout there. There's a lot of was it FPV and camera drones there, right, Mike?
That's right. We had about 8 guys there when I was in January there.
I believe, did Chris Hope make it over to that?
Chris was there. Jerry from Mesquite, the high school teacher, Jerry Cavalry. He was there.
Like Kai from Lone Star.
Kai was there. Kai's one that organized it actually.
I'm not surprised. He's a huge
Chris was
FAV guy or FPV guy. I
Chris was Water Media. He was there.
Nice.
And Kelly.
Ooh.
Cool.
Cool.
We're going to have another one too. The week after the Florida meet.
You guys are going to do another Texas meetup like that in the future, right?
Yeah, they're going to do March 27th, the week after the Florida meetup, and I'm going to try to make it.
All right, Chuck. Here you go. All right, Chuck. Here you go. It's that time.
Yeah.
We're at that point of the show. You wanted to get to this point. Talk about the DJI FPV drone
again.
You're at that point now. You can actually fire it up. Talk about it.
I'm tired now.
Show it, Chuck. Show it.
Okay, here we go. It is the best sound ever.
But it's
and you got to change them to blue lights because blue is cool.
Blue is cool.
Blue is cool.
Awesome, man. All right. Well, as we know how class is, everybody's ready to get over with class so that you can get out and go hang out with your friends and drink a beer or two and, forget about everything that you've learned. That goes.
Yep, exactly.
You'll study again the next time.
Just checking the time. People checking the time on the phone toward the end of the class just to see, is this over yet?
So
it is a timed exam.
Well, so with that being said, we'll let things fly around the room. We'll talk about what's coming up next week, and then we'll say our good evenings. And I will go ahead and let Ron take the proceedings from this point. Ron, lead us off.
Thank you, Bill, and I want to thank everybody in the chat for hanging in there for a long show tonight. And I hope we didn't bore you too much with. But this was an intense chapter here. And again, the intention of this isn't to replace Jason's course or even to learn how to get your license from our course. This is just like a teaser to whet your appetite to go get a course like Remote Pilot 101. And there are other competitors out there too. So you can fully learn everything. Even we're just kind of giving you the thumbnail version of things here, but hopefully pass some information along. And I won't be here for next week's show. I'll be on the road heading to Florida for the Great Florida Drone Meetup, which I'll be hanging out with Michael Wright down there, among others. So I hopefully will be back in 2 weeks. I'll still be in Florida, but hopefully I've got enough internet to be somewhat a part of that show. So that's it. And I will throw it over to Mike Wright. I want to give Mike a special thanks for coming in and helping out tonight. This was a difficult show tonight, and he really helped. And I would like to invite him back next month for the next Part 107 show if he'd come back. Mike, take it away.
Yeah, I'm glad to be on, and happy to be on another month. And I think I learned a little bit today. It's been a while since on this. This is the toughest subject I felt like of all of the parts on the 107 test. And
very cool.
They don't have it on the second test. I had it on the recurrent, but there was no weather on the recurrent. That was I hadn't studied for it in 3 years. And now the new recurrent, there is not going to be another recurrent test. It's all going to be seminar training only. So that's a good thing. There was actually no testing the second go around. But I did enjoy it, and I highly, highly recommend Jason's course. I took it several years ago, and I took it again for the recurrent, and it really helps out good. He knows the stuff.
Super cool. I'm going to throw it over to Chuck.
Hey, this actually was really helpful, guys. It got the rust off of me. And because when I took Jason's class, it was Remote Pilot 101 got me through this. I took his courses, and it's all broken into sections, and it took me like 2.5 months. Every weekend I'd go through it for like 8 hours a day. So just do it. It's really good. Thanks for guys for having me on. It was challenging. So maybe Ron, maybe you can brief us next time.
Yeah, well, we're going to get a little bit better with it. John.
I agree with all you guys. You know, every time we do this 107 show, there's always something that's gonna stick in my head when I know when I go to take the test, I'm gonna remember something from these shows. So it's always good. It's always good to study. And Mike, Wright, I want to thank you. I want to thank you as well for coming on. That was really great. And yeah, definitely come on next month if you can. That'd be absolutely awesome.
Super cool, super cool. And we're glad to have each and every one of you here with us every week. And I want to give you a little preview of what's coming up next week. Yes, I know it's kind of similar, but we've changed the audio a little bit and it's a little more festive. So don't forget, be here next week. We're going to have Kelly Shores with our St. Patty's Day show, Luck of the Irish. We want you to come in here and share your greatest saves. The one that you know you pulled out of your ass that you think you could never pull off again. And
I've got a special hat for the occasion, by the way.
Ah, very cool, very cool. And with that being said, we love each and every one of you. And please join us next week. Live long and prosper.
Peace out.